Hello everyone, I'm here in Ibiza and today I'm going to talk about the human need of certainty. This is part of the Human Needs and the Personality series, looking at the intersection of psychology and human design and what the role of the personality is as the sort of eternal soul that reincarnates life after life versus the understanding of the personality and design activations um, of the body graph, which are really the capacities of that individual um, and their limitations. I guess you could call it the constraints. The outcomes are still open, but the constraints are predetermined. All right, certainty. I'm an uncertainty person, so I'm probably the last one that you want to. Oh, that's cool. Okay, got a little. Very cool. They went by for a little drive by. Um, yeah, so I'm probably the last. I'm either the last person you want to ask, or I'm exactly who you want to ask about certainty because, you know, It's the most opposite of who I am as a person. So it's not necessarily easy for me to talk about it in a balanced way, but I can talk about some of the nuances and details I've found about certainty people. Okay, where do we begin? Certainty being about options, narrowing down options. Certain people want to get the options narrowed down, and yet they might have a lot of flexibility and backup plans when they travel. And they might, there's some complexities we can't, it's not always obvious whether they want to narrow the options down or whether they want to keep the options open. It's not really obvious whether they're ultimately having issues with commitment. The uncertainty people who are addicted to their human need of variety, like me, or the certainty people who are addicted to their human need for certainty, which is basically the opposite of variety and novelty, certain familiarity even. But again, it's a little bit complex because it's not an always obvious thing that somebody is a certainty or uncertainty person. I'm an uncertainty person. So is that obvious? I mean, is it obvious that I can handle a lot of variety, that I prioritize my need for variety and I make sure that I'm getting enough variety, but I might not make sure I'm getting enough certainty. See, we all have all the human needs, so it's not like I'm immune to how great it feels for things to actually be decided and certain. It's not like I'm wired differently and it doesn't feel good to me. It feels good to me too. I have the same human need everyone else has. I'm just not prioritizing it. We all have all the needs, right? So, I mean, there may be some truth in the idea that a certainty person has a greater need for certainty. You might say, well, Jonah's an uncertainty guy. He doesn't have such a great need for certainty. He can handle a lot of variety. He can be very comfortable in novel situations. Sure, there's some truth in that, but it's like I've worked really, really, really hard to be comfortable in those situations. In the same way, yeah, so that's the trick. So I'm going to keep going with this. We're going to do a deep dive in certainty. This is Jonah signing off for now.